Thank you for always following us and watching our messages. Thank you for following Sitam Ngong on Facebook and Sitam_Ngong on Instagram. This day, we are talking about parenting our parents. I know if there's something that is almost out of this world, because it's obvious that it is our parents who are responsible for us. It is our parents who are responsible to affirm us. It is our parents who are responsible to for encouraging us. It is our parents who are responsible for providing, promoting, protecting us. It is their responsibility. But have you ever thought? Have you ever thought that maybe you have a part to play to be a parent to your parent? Maybe that there's something that you need to do. Maybe there's something that needs to be done for the enrichment of your relationship with your mom or your dad. And even as we talk about parenting our parents, something that I know is for sure, and one thing I believe we need to understand is that first of all, there is no perfect person. Because sometimes we look at our parents, our desire for them is to be perfect people. Our desire for them is to be men and women without blemish or spot. But the sad truth is that even our parents, there are some things that maybe are making them not that perfect as we would have desire. Another thing that we also need to remember is that they also have struggles of their own. They are also struggling in their own way. So that's something that we also need to remember constantly, keep on our minds. They may be struggling emotionally. They may be struggling because of an issue at work. They may be struggling, maybe their relationship with your dad or relationship with their mother is not working well. So that is something that we also need to have in mind. Thirdly, we also need to remember that maybe as a parent, there are some fears that they have, and because of these fears will affect how they relate with you. These fears will affect what the kind of people they'll allow us to hang around, the kind of places that we are supposed to go. The fears that they have they will project it to us in one way or the other, and sometimes it may be as a result of something that happened to them, or as a result of a mistake that they made. So they feel and believe that maybe being in a particular age, things you can repeat the same mistake, or something can happen to you. So we need also to understand and appreciate that they have this fear. And another thing we also need to remember is that no parent wakes up in the morning and says, today I'm going to make the life of my son miserable. Today I'm going to make the life of my daughter miserable. Because sometimes when we look at them, we feel like, kwani agenda yake leo tu amekuja tu kumake siku yangu ikuwe mbaya. But no, that is not the case. What I know is that every parent desires something good for their child. Every parent desires something good for their son or for their daughter. It is the heart of every parent. So one thing that you also need to understand is that they're not doing it. The things that they do, they're not doing it. It's not an agenda to pull you down, okay? And the last thing, the fifth one, is that maybe what you expect them to do, they have no idea that they're supposed to do it. Maybe you expect them to say, I love you. They have no idea that is something that they're supposed to be doing. Maybe you expect them to affirm you, but they're thinking, so long as I've provided this and that for you, I've taken you to school, I've paid for your fees, I've paid rent, I've paid for a few things, then that is enough. So let's just understand and appreciate that maybe those things, they have no idea that we want. They have no idea that as a son you want them, that as a daughter you want them. So God has given us responsibility, and I believe that's why we are told, honor your mother and your father in the book of Ephesians, chapter number 6, from verse 1 to 3, because I believe this is the commandment that has a promise. And how do we honor? And I believe in that place of honoring, that is a place of us parenting, playing our part, being a parent to our parent. And especially if you know Christ Jesus, if you know the Lord, I believe this is something that that we need to do. We need to do as children of God. Number one, how do we do it? Always, always look look out for their interests, the things that excite them. You know, you can also try and do those things. Do those things. If I know my dad, one of the things that my dad appreciated, loved so much was cleanliness. And for me to make him happy, I had to ensure that around me, my environment was clean. I had clean things, because that was something that was very key for him. Cleanliness was very important. Support and encourage. Support them. And I know right now you're wondering, my friend, how do I encourage the one who's supposed to be encouraging me? There are so many ways that we can encourage our parents. For example, for a while, there was a season in my life where at home, the only food that was available was bananas, was matoke. And I never understood why it was the constant food that we had. So instead of complaining to mom, instead of complaining of this is the only thing that we have, I enjoyed it, even though right now I struggle with matoke. But at that particular moment, in that season, I used to enjoy it. I used to eat it. I used to eat matoke. And without asking questions. And I know that that is an area that we can support our parents. There are some places that they have fallen short. They cannot provide. Maybe you want them to drive a certain kind of car, but the only car that they have ni kadogo na unafilio. It's not enough. Maybe at home you desire to have a big TV. You know, you desire to have the paid for channels or something like that. But right now they only have free to air. You know, such kind of things. Instead of complaining and talking about the things that you want, my friend, just appreciate that that is what they have. Appreciate that that is what they've provided. Appreciate that that is what they can afford at that particular moment, and support them at that. Number three, you can also tell them the things that you want to hear from them. If it's love, tell them, Mande, Dad, I love you. Mom, I love you. It's not wrong. To hear when we do that. I used to tell my dad, at some point he was not very comfortable, but he got used to it. So as one who has been enlightened, as one who has that revelation, talk to them about it. Tell them about it, sawa sawa. And then don't blame them for everything. Don't blame them for everything. Sometimes, yes, they fail to say some things. They fail to do some things. They failed to take us to some places. But I think it's important for us to let go of some grudges and some hurt and bitterness and unforgiveness. It is important for us. It is important for you to let go of that heart, to let go of that issue, so that it does not even hinder your ministry towards your parents, because bitterness can really be a hindrance. Anger can be a hindrance. Unforgiveness can be a hindrance. So let go of the grudges. Forgive them. And then lastly, pray. And if possible, pray for them while they hear you, because I know we do it a lot. Maybe you're doing it in your private private closet, in your closet. You pray for them constantly, but there are times I believe that they need just to hear you speak a word of blessing, to hear you speak something over them. And so take time, not only just to pray for them in private, but also pray for them in public. Pray for them as they hear you, because there is power. I believe there is power in us praying. Sawa sawa. So God richly bless you, and I hope that you've been blessed by this message. Continue following us on Facebook and on Instagram. We are also on YouTube. God richly bless you, and have a great time.